back of the upper leg is known as the hamstring. The hamstring is essential for hip extension and upright posture. The hamstring is comprised of the biceps femoris, semitendinosus, and semimembranosus. All three of the hamstring muscles cross both hip and knee joints. If you have difficulty touching your toes while your legs are straight, it's likely your hamstrings are too tight. So let's take a look at how to loosen them. We're going to start on the floor with a foam roller underneath the legs. Roll your body forward onto the hamstrings. Remember, you can try different leg positions. While you press into the foam roller, you can use your hands to also pull the foam roller into your legs. To increase the pressure, press one knee over top of the other, allowing all of your pressure to go into the foam roller. During this time, you can also extend the knee, straightening the leg, and then relax. Remember, choose a point that's tender while you allow the foam roller to work into the muscle tissue. To finish the work on the back of the leg, you can quickly roll back and forth. Another way to work the hamstring is sitting in a chair with a massage stick. Simply pull the massage stick up into the back of the leg. Make sure the muscle relaxes. You can tell by how the massage stick works into the tissue. Loose tissue will allow the massage stick to move the bulk of the muscle. When using the massage stick, as you pull, finding a trigger point or part of the muscle tissue that is tender is likely. Remember to increase pressure in that spot and jostle the massage stick back and forth over top of the trigger point. Do not roll the massage stick during this technique. Let's look at an additional way to dig even deeper into the hamstring using a lacrosse ball. Sitting in a chair, align your body sideways so your entire hamstring is on the chair. Place the lacrosse ball under the hamstring. Using your hands, squeeze the bottom of the chair and the top of your leg at the same time. Extend the knee, then set the foot back down on the floor to create a contract-relax sequence. Choose a pressure that creates some pain in order to get the best results. After 7 to 10 repetitions in one spot, place the lacrosse ball in a new spot and perform 7 to 10 more repetitions extending the knee. You can also move the lacrosse ball further out towards the outside of the leg, working part of the IT band. Remember to select multiple parts of the hamstring, contracting and relaxing 7 to 10 times.
Time to go. I'm not ready. Almost ready. Whoops. Here we go. Alrighty. There we go. So we are all set and ready. I hope you guys are prepared for our core day. If not, simple thing is you just lay down on the ground. So that's all we got to do to be ready for this one. As always, we're going to jump into our I dedicates. These above my head here, they're going to be up on our board overhead throughout the duration of the workout. As we go through our workout, we want to continually dedicate and be intentional to inform and be aware that this is not just about us. It's not about only ourselves. So Lori, we're going to be praying for her and her mom's doing dialysis 3 times a week. Ethan has stage 4 liver and bile duct cancer. My friend's wife with breast cancer, and she seems to be doing very well through their healing process. So we're excited about that. Continue to pray for her. Kira is done with all of her surgeries, or with her lymphatic surgery, and then also her radiation. So she was back to half days. So praying, in the next few weeks she can get back to kind of her full-time normal living routine. That's always kind of a huge step when you go through those health needs. And then Jim, we're going to pray for him. That's Kira's dad, and he's been failing through pancreatic cancer. Braylee is Braylee just like good?
Well,
She's set after the surgery?
Yeah.
Awesome.
She was back in school last week.
Okay, so we are going to just say that's a praise since Braylee's all back to school and good to go. And then still we are going to pray for Diane with the loss of her husband last week on Sunday, dealing with that because it was not really expected. So always difficult through that. But our verse of the day, we are afflicted in every way, but not crushed, perplexed, but not driven to despair, persecuted, but not forsaken, struck down, but not destroyed. That's 2 Corinthians 4, 8 through 9. On account of our faith, many times Jesus said we will be persecuted. And there are many around the earth who are persecuted truly for their faith. I don't typically see someone else disagreeing with my point of view as persecution. I don't typically see someone disagreeing with me, even with anger, as being persecuted. However, being beat and crushed and driven and forsaken, struck down, like those are big terms, and I think a lot of times we don't prepare our hearts for what that truly means as far as our faith is concerned. Sometimes we rely so much on the blessings being an evidence of our spiritual walk, and we focus on the materialism that's around that. So I just like to think about the fact that, there might come a day when me proclaiming the name of Jesus will give me black eyes, will break my arms, will try to silence me, right? And am I prepared for that? Am I still willing to stand on the faith that I have? So maybe that's just a thought for the day that we can get going on. So, all right, let's jump into our workout. Whoops, I got to hit the right one here. There we go.
For pelvic tilt.
So remember, pelvic tilts, squeeze nice and tight. Laying on your back. Remember, we're trying to crush the Dorito under the low back.
Pelvic tilt.
Okay, there we go. Yep. Yeah, I know I said we're not doing a lot, but we do need to get on the floor.
Yeah. I hit my head on the floor, so I feel that.
So it's more dangerous than I thought, too,
Yeah.
is what you're saying. All right, good, tight squeezes. Remember, with our pelvic tilts, we want to create a compression through the pelvic floor. So that means perform a Kegel. It's like you're cutting off going to the bathroom.
That's halfway.
Then you're going to take and just crush that low back down into the floor, right? So that should force that core to really cause a tilt of the pelvis, which is why we call it a pelvic tilt. So get this down really well. I want to see good tight squeezes through the core as we go through the exercises.
3, 2, 1. Prepare for pelvic tilt with knee fall out.
Tilt and knee fall out, so feet together. Again, you're going to create that core compression through the
3,
movement.
2, 1. Pelvic tilt with knee fall out.
So a great way to check to see what our core is doing here is to compress that core and just use your hands kind of right by your hips, right? And if your hips roll over into your hand, you know your core's been letting go, okay? So we don't want your knee to go out and the whole pelvis to roll with it, okay? Stay tight through the midsection. Firm compression, firm compression.
That's halfway.
Yeah, and then Saturday we had a wedding, and Sunday, or later Saturday night, was my sister's birthday. So we had some 17 or 18 teenage girls in our house singing karaoke. That was a splendid moment. It's funny because they did like
3,
make up a rap.
2,
type
1.
thing.
Yeah.
Prepare for pelvic tilt with adduction.
So Lisa gets up there and she starts rapping in French, you know,
God.
and everyone's like freaking out, like so crazy, so crazy. And I asked her the day after, I said,
3.
so no one understood
2,
what you were saying, did they?
1.
She goes,
Pelvic tilt
no,
with adduction.
that's all I said the whole time. You don't understand what I'm saying. You don't understand what I'm saying. I was like, yep, that's funny. It's a good time. Kids keep you going, that's for sure. Okay, this one with adduction, remember you're squeezing your knees together, then you're releasing your knees, then you release your core, right? So Kegel core compression, just like always, knees tight.
That's
Release your
halfway.
knees, release your core. Okay, so it always is core tight first. Do whatever we're doing for movements, and then you turn your core off. Okay? So no matter what you're doing, whether you're squeezing knees, relaxing your knees, either way, right? You want to just make sure that the core stays tight through that movement.
Three, 2, 1. Prepare for pelvic
Right.
tilt with knee toward chest.
Okay, tilt with knee toward chest. So create a march. Okay. As you march, again, don't let the
3,
hips Rubik's Cube.
2, 1. Pelvic tilt with knee toward chest.
Okay, we want to make sure that the core can stay tight, stay tight. Okay, no movement inside the pelvis. Good control all the way through. Very good. Squeeze tight, squeeze tight. Holding that compression firm.
That's halfway.
Good, good, good. Again, recompress that core. Make sure that back is flat on the floor as hard as you can. Okay, tight
3,
squeezes.
2, 1. Prepare for pelvic tilt with bridge.
Okay, tilt and bridge. Remember, core compress, shoulder blades down to the floor. You're trying to lift everything
3,
at once.
2, 1. Pelvic tilt with bridge.
I don't want you peeling off the floor like a sticker. Okay?
Good. Now it's me. Can you turn that up just a little bit? I can't get it. Oh, thank you. I'll let you look like that. No, you can call people who follow you.
That's halfway.
And through his earphone or through his hearing aid. And he, just talking away and stuff. And I can answer my phone. I'm like, okay.
There it is. Very good. Tight, tight compression. Squeeze firm.
Three,
Awesome.
1. Prepare for shoulder drops.
Okay, shoulder drops just simply means we start by pulling the shoulders down away from the ears, and then you're going to pinch them back to the floor. Okay? Then create your core
2,
compression. Okay?
1. Shoulder drop.
What we're trying to avoid is when we create our core compression is those shoulders coming up. Okay, so when our arms are here and we go up overhead, a lot of times our shoulder is trying to compensate and pull up to the ear. Right? So I want to get out of this and take my shoulder and pull it down into position. Okay, so with each move, that's what we're trying to do. Pull those shoulders down and back, down and back.
That's halfway.
Good, good, good. Core compress, shoulders down and back.
3, 2, 1. Prepare for dead bug.
Good. Tight squeezes through the core, through the whole thing, okay? I think someone's going to kick you in the
3,
stomach.
2, 1. Dead bug.
Okay? Tight compression. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hold firm all the way through. What are all... Good, good, good. Never watched the news, and that one TV's got it up. A bunch of fires and stuff going on.
That's
Oh,
halfway.
what is that? Oh, it's... That's crazy. Good, tight squeeze, core compress, 10 seconds.
3, 2, 1. Long rest.
All right, so for the long rest, you can get a drink of water, just take a break, then we're going to jump back in to round 2. 3 total rounds today. Again, do your best through each one. This second round, I want you to think you're going to pull 50% of the weight off your feet. Okay, so 50% of the weight. They're not going to leave the floor, but I do want you to squeeze that core really tight, then try to get your feet to come up off the floor, okay? Your low back should stay planted on the ground the entire time, all right? That's the goal.
Okay, awesome.
3, 2, 1. Prepare for pelvic tilt. Three, 2, 1. Pelvic tilt.
Okay, here we go. Good tight compression. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Marcia just updated me. We're going to pray for her brother, Mark. You'll see I added him to the top screen up over there. He's fighting a kidney stone right now. So they should be blasting tomorrow, 6 millimeters. Pretty sizable. Those, they're
That's
terrible.
halfway.
They are terrible.
So finding it, so that who works for Comcast? Think about it. $2. So he said, right. So we have that might.
3, 2, 1. Prepare for pelvic tilt with knee fall out.
A bus.
Oh,
And have it be general. And so
3, 2, 1. Pelvic tilt with knee fall out.
Here we go. Heel, core compressed. As the knee goes to the side, recheck those hips. Make sure the pelvis isn't rolling back and forth on the floor, okay? Doing your best through it.
yeah.
Your best.
Yep. Well, but before that, one was at the end, stroke to do to bring this forward up. Carol Fox.
That's halfway.
And somebody came,
Oh, no.
and like I said, basically, yeah. So,
Good tight core compression, squeezing firm.
my crew was there.
Make sure as your knee goes out to the side, you don't roll with it. Okay? Tight squeeze. Hold that core tight.
2, 1. Prepare for pelvic tilt with adduction.
There were 5 people that came to this, and before we left church, I saw him sitting up on the
3, 2, 1. Pelvic tilt with adduction.
Oh, and did the confirmation, you see. was exhausted. Like that.
Good, tight core compression. Squeeze firm. All the way through. Compress, compress, compress.
That's halfway.
I don't. We had somebody saying that her doctor in the house.
That didn't happen. People. I saw very sexual.
Good squeezes.
3, 2,
Awesome.
1. Prepare for pelvic tilt with knee toward chest.
I think we missed one.
Yeah,
We're gonna go to the march. Don't worry about the adduction.
3, 2, 1. Pelvic tilt with knee toward
Sometimes that
chest.
happens. Good core compression. Tight, tight, tight. Again, your opposite foot should be light, right? We're doing light feet here. 50% of the weight. Good core compression. Squeeze. Tight, 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 tight.
I have a question.
That's halfway.
And we raise our legs. Now, like that lumbar part, that 3, 4, 5, is that moving when we raise our legs? Does that
Could
move?
not.
Okay.
Once you plant into the ground,
Okay.
3,
movement of the lumbar spine
2,
is done.
1.
Oh, okay.
Prepare for
Core
pelvic tilt
holds
with
your
bridge.
spine flat to the floor.
Yeah, even if I raise my legs like this,
Yep.
it's still
So no.
flat on.
Yep. So no matter what we do, so if I'm here
3,
and my
2,
back's arched,
1.
right?
Pelvic tilt with bridge.
Okay. I need to plant that all the way down.
Right.
And once that's there, no matter what I do, there should be no change
Okay.
in what's going on in the lumbar. Right?
We're working on a boat. Like, could reach. So I had fallen in.
Oh.
Okay, so then I'm getting out.
That's halfway.
It started hurting. And so it got me to thinking where that hip thing is on your hips.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like this. But as long as my lower back is on the floor, I'm okay.
Correct. Yep. And
I
that's
do that.
And where bird dogs come in handy too. Like if I'm going to be crawling, right? I don't want to be here or be here, trying to make it work.
3,
Yeah.
2,
It's really hard.
1.
Right.
Prepare for shoulder drops.
Okay.
It's going to hold and brace much better. So for you especially, like when my hips shift, right? That's just doing this
3,
on your spine.
2,
And
1.
if you were doing this,
Shoulder drop.
you're wringing out the rag. You're taking that nerve and just grinding on it. And that's not what we want, right? So that's why we continue to do this. So looking for those application points when you're cleaning the boat, under the boat.
No. Our switch couldn't, we have a board with it. So,
That's halfway.
or not,
Good.
it's an in. So they have to do the antifreeze and all that stuff. And so it has to be
Shoulders down and back, down and back. Squeeze hard. Well, I saw the new storage sheds out on 4th Avenue. So that goes to Mason
3,
City.
2,
They,
1.
those
Prepare
are
for
climate
dead
controlled
bug.
with the possibility of an office and your own bathroom for only $174,000.
Yeah.
20 by 50.
3,
That is crazy.
2, 1.
That is just
Dead
straight
bug.
crazy sauce.
Yeah.
That is just so bizarre to me.
But if you look at the corner, they have that really big tall one, but the amount of concrete that they allow is not near enough to sometimes in
Backed
or
up.
back in.
Yep.
That's
You're not
right.
going to do a trailer in a truck.
And it's because it's a tall one, so it'd be like a motorhome. There's
That's
no way
halfway.
to do a motorhome.
Dead bug, bird dog. Yeah, go! Go, go, go! Good. Tight squeezes. Remember, again, we don't want to cat or cow if we do the bird dog, right? That just spine is flat. So same thing on the floor. Keeping that spine compressed to the floor as tight as you possibly can. Oh yeah, we've got
3,
about 100 pounds of
2,
potatoes for my folks.
1.
Oh my
Long
God.
rest.
Very
That's
good.
a lot of potatoes.
They plant a lot of
So are
potatoes.
they really, they're baked
Like-
like
Russet potatoes sounding. Yeah,
wow.
they're plenty big, and that's what Ashley went through what they were throwing away. Like they have their high quality, and she said there were probably another 200 pounds of potatoes they're throwing that have like green spots,
Oh,
you know,
Wow.
that kind of stuff. Yeah. Well, and I mean, they had a large
3,
field that they
2,
just
1. Prepare for pelvic
and that's
tilt.
going to get them through probably a year. So that's pretty crazy. All right, here we go. Last round. Try to hover your feet. If you can't
3,
hover your feet,
2, 1. Pelvic tilt.
just do the best you can pulling your feet up, right? So always Kegel core compression. Squeeze your core. When we get into movement, perform your movement. Release after you have finished the movement. The baby cries distract me a little bit.
boy.
That's halfway.
Sure is. It's baby. Good, good, good.
Come back.
I don't know. Because she has her own business that she runs too. She does rock steady boxing and taekwondo. And I know she stays pretty
3,
busy with that.
2, 1. Prepare for pelvic tilt with
Good.
knee fall out.
Okay, tilt with fall out. Okay, so again, core compress, try to hover the feet, knee out, back up. If you have to reduce range of motion, that's fine.
3, 2, 1. Pelvic tilt with knee fall out.
Very good. Core compress, tight, tight, tight. Flatten that back to the floor, squeeze hard. Do your best.
That's halfway.
Good, tight squeezes. Right, and you can always just do one, return, set them down, pick them back up, do the other one. Set them down, pick them back up, right? You can change it as you go, right? Doesn't matter just so long as we continually return to compressing that core and keeping the pelvis
3,
glued to the floor.
2,
Okay?
1. Prepare for pelvic tilt with adduction.
Awesome. Tilt with adduction. Grab that foam roller. 6-step process.
3,
We'll do it together here.
2, 1. Pelvic tilt with adduction.
Okay. Compress your core. Squeeze those knees. Lift the feet. Set the feet back down. Release the knees. Then release the core. Okay? And then keep that going. Right? It should not be fast doing these. You're not just running through the movement, just going crazy with your legs. It's simple. Control. Very distinct. Right? Making sure that spine stays braced through the movement.
That's halfway.
Okay. Your absolute best. Your absolute best. Good, tight squeeze, core compress, shoulders down and back. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze.
3, 2, 1. Prepare for pelvic
Awesome.
tilt with knee toward chest. 3, 2, 1. Pelvic tilt with knee toward chest.
Good marches. Remember, try to hover the opposite foot if you can, making sure your spine stays braced. Firm, firm squeeze. Oh. Apparently they needed this printed now.
That's halfway. Three, 2, 1. Prepare for pelvic tilt with bridge.
Okay, good. Tight squeezes as we go through the bridges.
3, 2, 1. Pelvic tilt with bridge.
Good core compression. Squeeze those glutes tight.
That's halfway. Three, 2, 1. Prepare for shoulder drops.
Morning, gentlemen.
All right, very good. Shoulder drops. Going back to shoulders down, right out of the ears and back.
3,
Push as hard as you
2,
can.
1. Shoulder drop.
Setting into place. Shoulders down, back, down, back. Always returning, right? Trying to pull those shoulders out of the ears. Setting in place. Good, tight squeeze. Again, pinch that bra strap. Shoulders all the way to the floor. Try to get them there.
That's
Because
halfway.
again, we're trying to take the shoulders down and back without arching your back a whole bunch. Right? So core compressed, hold that firm, set those shoulders. Okay, this is what's going to help us get in place for tomorrow's workout, which is the upper body, trying to get the shoulders to stay in a stabilized position while we generate some sort of force movement through the shoulders.
3,
Good.
2, 1. Prepare for dead bug.
Okay, dead bugs.
Three, 2,
Or bird dogs.
1. Dead bug.
So either way, core tight. Compress, compress, compress. Firm, firm, firm. Like a foot's coming for your stomach. Never any fun to have that done. But if we have a tight core, at least we'll survive. Okay, good. Tight squeeze all the way through. Okay, doing your best. Tight compression.
That's halfway.
Almost there. 20 seconds. Do your best. Yes, apparently I think 20 seconds is almost. 10, here we go. Finish strong, do your best. You're doing dead bugs,
3,
tight, tight squeeze.
2, 1. Long rest.
Awesome. All right, great work, everyone. Thanks for being here. Tomorrow we do have our upper body day, so I'm excited for you to join us for that. Be sure to subscribe right here to the videos. Turn on those notifications. It'll help be able to find these workouts when we do go live, 9 o'clock Monday through Friday. Also, everything is on demand, so you should be able to find these at a time that works for you. No longer is price or time an excuse. Just not an excuse anymore. Okay, that's what we're here for. We are going to jump back into our hamstring self-massage. Remember, there are different videos in our playlists of this channel as well that walk you through self-massage for any part of your body. So if you don't need your hamstrings worked on today, maybe something else is what you need. You can go to that playlist and check it out. All right, have an absolutely wonderful day. I'm here to help you move well so you live well.
The head, neck, and shoulders are intricately connected by several different muscles. The most superficial muscles being the upper trap, middle trap, and levator scapula. The brain communicates with these muscles through the 11th cranial nerve and the nerves at C3 and C4. These muscles contract the shoulder towards the neck, which causes pressure on the upper part of the vertebrae, creating tension and pain. The muscles that are much deeper are the transversospinalis and splenius capitis. The nerves that innervate these muscles are found from the C1 through the C6. These muscles connect the head and neck, which means looking down, like reading, computer work, or especially phone or tablet work, can cause problems. Start in a side-lying position with a foam roller between the neck and shoulder. Use your top leg to press into the floor, rolling your body up, which will create pressure downward through that shoulder. You're trying to create as much movement between the ear and shoulder as possible while relaxing the head toward the floor. You may increase the intensity of work by rolling the foam roller up and down using your hand. To work different points of the neck, simply roll backwards, keeping the chin and chest directly in line while opening the shoulders to the ceiling. An additional way to create greater intensity is by creating a saw-like motion, pulling the end of the foam roller toward your neck and then relaxing. You need to allow yourself to relax during the saw-like motion to break down the muscle tissue in the upper trap and neck. Continue to change the position, working the areas that are most tender. If you are tensing your body, it is not helping. My recommendation is to continue this work anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes on each side before moving on. A common headache that comes through my door is when someone comes in and paints across the forehead the pain that they feel. Commonly, it's also associated to have eye pain with this sort of headache. The muscles typically causing this headache are actually on the back side of the head, and they are called the occipital muscles. When the occipitals get extremely tight, they pull on the back of the head over the top of the head, creating the tension and pressure you feel in the forehead. So let's take a look at how to release these muscles to get rid of your headache. Using 2 lacrosse balls directly on the back of the head and lying on the ground, use a book to elevate the lacrosse balls. You're going to press down into the lacrosse balls and move them around the back of your head until you find the part that is most tender. At this point, you're going to begin pressing your head down into the lacrosse ball as hard as you can tolerate. This pressure should recreate the headache that you commonly feel across your forehead. Continue this pressure for 30 seconds. I will continue to talk you through the 30 seconds here. Do not let up on your pressure. Continue to push as hard as you possibly can in the occipital muscles in the back of your head. Try even increasing the tension and feel the headache. You know you're doing it correctly if you continue to feel the headache the whole time you're on these muscles. And we finish in 3, 2, 1. Wonderful. Now we're done with the occipital release. Next, we're going to be working on the Atlantoaxial junction and the rest of the cervicals. The first muscles for us to focus on are at the atlantoaxial junction, and they are called the obliquus capitis major, obliquus capitis superior and inferior, and the rectus capitis posterior minor. Once we have worked through those, we will work on the rotatories and the semispinalis cervicis. Laying on your back with a book under your head and neck, place the lacrosse balls directly in line with the junction of the head and neck. Once you have the lacrosse balls in that position, tilt the head up and down like you're nodding your head yes. This should cause a contraction of the muscle tissue on top of the lacrosse ball and then a stretch as you look down. Once you've completed the work on that junction, move down 1/2 inch to the next cervical and continue this process until you have worked your way down the entire neck. Be sure to get
It's not good for time. I guess it's the port or the area of the eye